welcome to this week's edition of Mainely Motorsports. Back in the hot seat with Greg Emerson, right? The hot seat. But more tracks opening up. I mean, Lee opened up their regular season program Friday night. I know they've already opened up with, the Governor's Cup. Beech Ridge kind of kicked off their season with PASS. Not technically their own race schedule
opener, right?
But still, you see a lot of the normal Beech Ridge fans down there PASS weekend.
And it's the last few years has become like the unofficial opener to the season at Beech Ridge, kicks off.
And then they'll now have a couple of weeks of practice to prepare for their annual opening day. And then, over to Star Speedway. They get things kicked off Saturday night. Now, technically, if you look at their schedule, their opening night, and I don't understand it, but their opening night, they call it opening day this week, but they're already open. But whatever, maybe it was to throw everybody for a loop. So, pretty exciting. I mean, had a good day for racing. I know some of the tracks, Wiscasset switched into Saturday nights.
I mean,
Bangor's been Saturday night, so a little bit chilly.
It's been a little bit chilly still, but I mean, it's not damp and cold. I mean, it's sunny in the middle of the day, and then you get some wind or something like that.
Yeah, and one of the things, I hadn't get any feedback yet from Star or Lee, but one of the things that I've been getting feedback from and talking with people is the manner in which all these tracks are able to run their shows off. And it's funny that, we all look to the track when there's an issue, where there's a problem, the track. It's not the track, it's the racers. It's how they want to race. And, a perfect example of, guys doing the right things, and I wanted to talk about this on last week's show, but I forgot to mention it, was in the Strictly race up to Oxford. They had 28 cars, I believe. Some pretty big names, and it was a good race. And one of the guys that was doing a really good job and was moving forward was Tyson Jordan. And with like 5-6 laps to go, his car shut down. Now, 9 out of 10 guys, when their car shuts down, the last thing on their mind is pulling in the pits or pulling the infield. They're going to bring out the caution. They're going to ruin the race, so to speak. And Tyson did a very good job of coasting it to the infield. And I was actually up top with Scotty Reid when that happened. And I said to him after the race, he was calling the races, and I said, hey, that guy, what a nice job he did as far as making the right call. And Scotty had already radioed to one of his infield officials to go over and thank him. And those, those are things that some of you racers, you don't think of, you take for granted.
What is it you always say to me that a lot of racers don't realize?
I don't know.
When it's not your day.
Well, yeah,
it's not your day.
And you're gonna have more bad days in racing than you are good days in racing. And and that's just one of those ways of gaining respect from not only the other competitors, but the fans and the track management. And some people don't pick up on that stuff. Those good, it's that lap car getting out of the way, and, giving the leaders room to race,
And on the same token as that, kind of in a way, this past week at the PASS race, and I don't know if it's the first time I've had it, it's the first time I've noticed it, and I don't know how it worked, but they have a thing, an app you can get for your phone, and it gives live updates on stuff like that. So being a spotter or having somebody do it to keep you informed as a team, it allows you to know where you are on the track and who you're racing with, because like a few weeks back, some of the guys pulled out of line at Oxford in the PASS race and went to the tail. Now, unfortunately for Mike Landry, he got the shaft. He was in a wreck and wrecked the front glove of his car. But it's the same idea, it's the same concept, because it allows you to make the decision. And I had a conversation with Paul Johnson about this a little bit yesterday. And it allows you to make a quality decision so that you don't affect the outcome of the race when it's not your day. And that, I mean, it's no matter what we're doing, if it's PASS racing, whatever, it's still local Saturday night racing. And everybody's got a lot of money invested. And if it's not your day, there's no sense in you costing everybody else a bunch of money.
Yeah, no, exactly. So. Speaking of not your day, Saturday at Beech Ridge was definitely not Glenn Luce's day. Glenn showed up, run a little late, preparing 2 cars, planned on running Beech Ridge Saturday, Devil's Bowl Sunday, and got there a little late. Obviously, all the prime parking spots you got the big tow to home. Wheeled in down back, got stuck.
I heard that.
Ralph come out. They had everybody there and their brother trying to get him. That's a big rig, and he's sinking and sinking. So they had one more, ingenious idea of the water truck with a little more weight, the old Mack. Well, all that did was pull the big J hook in through the side of the oil pan. So there's a guy that didn't have a good day, you know, and you feel bad for him. And I was over there talking with Glenn, and we know him, and I mean, he was handling it well. I mean, anybody else might have freaked. Or maybe he wanted to freak, but he just realized, you know what, that ain't going to do. The guys that unloaded this stuff to try to get some weight off the trailer still put in a valiant effort to try to qualify. And, you know, obviously they lost valuable track time at the beginning of the day trying to get their hauler unstuck. Called for a backup truck and trailer and unloaded the other car and, you know, went off to the act race Sunday. So, you know, just true racer right there. I mean, didn't have a great day, cost himself a bunch of money, you know, tore up some parts on the front of his brand new Total Home as he's trying to get out and puts the J-hook through the oil pan. But you know what, still he brought his guys, they attempted to race, and, you know, so there's a guy that didn't have a very good day. But, you know, so no, it was a great weekend of racing. The weather cooperated until the sun goes down. But, you know, I don't care. In July, the sun goes down. You still got to put a sweatshirt on. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it's that typical mid-afternoon opener at Beech Ridge. You know, you get the sea breeze, all that stuff.
You know, and I mean, there was a lot of racing going on this weekend.
Yeah.
And throughout Maine and parts of New Hampshire, you know, Canaan opened up. And, you know, we're real excited this year to be able to show you some results and photos from Canaan through, you know, weekly or, you know, whenever time permits, for example. But just...
And they opened up with the Granite State Pro
Granite
Stock
State
Series.
Pro Stock Series, you know, which their car count's grown. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot going on. And, you know, obviously we spent our weekend over to Beech Ridge. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know, the 2 test days and then the race day. And, you know, it's a chance to catch up with, you know, saw a lot of them in Augusta. You saw more of them at Portland, but it's a chance to catch up with a lot of your race friends, you know. And it was a good time, good weekend, you know.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, I had to work Thursday, so...
That's a word we haven't heard around here in archives. Oh my word!
So, but I was there Friday and Saturday, and yeah, it's definitely good, you know. And it's kind of funny because it was like you and I both posted on Facebook Saturday morning, right around the same time, something about going back to Beech Ridge and different things, and it was kind of funny because they kind of meant the same thing. It's like, no matter what we do with the show or where we go or even traveling around different race situations and stuff like that, Beech Ridge is still home in a way.
Mine had nothing to do with home. Mine had to do with the fact that I was still going to Beech Ridge, still spending a boatload of money as a car owner. So, but it did take on, you know, and it was funny is, you know, I didn't think it was a big deal when I made the post on, you know, Facebook because, you know, I went to Beech Ridge for the first time in 1971. I was 5 years old. You know, I went there as a fan. Then I, 1982, became a crew member on Bob Billadue's number 87 in Limited Sportsman. So now I graduated to the crew member side of things. And then in 1987, I decided I thought I was the man that could get it done behind the wheel. So I did that. Well, then in
with that sweet mullet that you used to have.
Yeah, and then in 1994, well, actually before that, I realized I wasn't the man behind the wheel and decided this wasn't a career for me. But I advanced over the car owner side of things, and we had a lot of success in my first year as a car owner. Won what is, Super Sportsman, which is like comparative to the late models. You know, the championship. We won a lot of races, contended in the championship and the Pro Series. And then went there obviously with the inaugural PASS 400 with Mike Rowe. You know, as a car owner side of things. So you'd advance through the ranks. You know, not even mentioning about going there as a TV guy. You know, and then but to go there. You know, for the first time with my daughter, who I never dreamed I'd be walking through the pits at Beech Ridge with somebody in a fire suit that was my own sibling. You know, I never thought that would happen. You know, and it was quite an experience. And obviously, she's learning, being 15 years old and graduating into the legend, so to speak. And just want to be better at the end of the day than you are at the beginning of the day. And it's just a whole different world. You know, because you're not only dealing with the race driver, but taking that race driver home and. When the phone's not working, she needs the new clothes, so it's just a lot more. And wow, but it was a great experience, great weekend, and congratulations to all the winners, not only at Beech Ridge for the PASS race, but throughout the state. And
my question is, did Andrea go to the races this weekend?
Nope, Andrea stayed home, and the deal I made with my youngest one, because she couldn't go to the pits at Beech Ridge because she's still not 14. So the deal I made with her is anywhere that she doesn't go, I'll give her the money. I'll pay her to not go. Like, you know, I'm going to cost me $35 if she goes, so I'll give her the $35 to stay home. So, no, she had a nice productive day because she made money off Dad, and then she had a yard sale, so she made money at her yard sale, and then got a call later in the day to go babysit, so took Mom with her babysitting. So, yeah, she probably had a $150, $200 day, so not bad for a 13-year-old, huh? So yeah, pretty productive day for Andrea, you know. So no, but it was good, and we got a lot of highlights. We got a lot of, you know, you hear interviews of the top 3 from the winner,
Right.
you know, and just a great time. And you know, something else I want to talk about later in the show. We had a big deal going on at Wiscasset Speedway, and I'm real excited about, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna do that in June sometime, right?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that later on in the show. But we're going to take a break. When we come back here on Mainely Motorsports, we're going to little intro to the support divisions down there at Beech Ridge.
Looking for something different and exciting to do on Friday night? How about real NASCAR racing at Lee USA Speedway, featuring the ground-pounding, super-fast, super-modifieds, the fender-rubbing late model sportsman, unpredictable hobby stocks, and more. It's great family fun and excitement. Kids under 12 get in free, and there's acres of free and easy parking. Friday nights at Lee USA Speedway, located right on Route 125 in Lee, New Hampshire. Check LeeUSASpeedway.com for more information.
Mainely Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
When you're in need of awards or personalized gifts, call Award Champs, where they'll help you reward your champion.
Well, this NELCAR Legend Series, obviously I'm a part of now with Alicia, but still a pretty big deal for those guys to come in and run as a support division, as, you know.
For the second, basically, week in a row on the PASS tour.
Yeah, it is, and it was neat, you know, for them. You know, they get in, and it was neat when I went up to watch the feature. A lot of those guys were up there, you know, because they were obviously the Consies were the next race, so they wanted to watch the Consies, so they were getting themselves ready for the, you know. So it was pretty neat to see some of those guys up watching.
And it's kind of like I view that as like. The scenario where the Cup guys, where like you would hear of like Richard Childress or whoever watching the support divisions at like Loudon or something like that to see, it's kind of the same deal, you know. Those PASS guys, those PASS team owners, those PASS guys who own their own equipment but know someday, hey, I'm gonna have to be out of the wheel, but maybe I still want to own a race car. They're looking at the future and seeing maybe a driver that can get in their car, you know.
Well, and there's been a couple of, you know, one in particular, Cassius Clark, come through the ranks of those legend cars, and
Corey Williams
So,
was up here.
you know, those things are a handful to drive. So, you know, it was pretty good. And then obviously the PASS Sportsman Series, you guys were involved with Dan, had a nice run, runner-up finish. You know, right now nobody's got anything for, you know, Pastori in the 20. You know, but it happens. You know, I mean, he'll stay stagnant and everybody will catch up, but you're not that far off.
No.
You know, and then, you know, that mod series, and you know, I said it last year when we talked about that. You know, that class was going to take off, and
it really has this year.
You know,
I think.
You know, and I'm looking out there, and you get the last 2 Roadrunner champions. You know, Evan Armington and Ryan Phillips, and you know, Billy Dixon, and I mean,
second PASS mod race in a row that I was really impressed with the job that Evan Armington did.
Yeah, he's, you know,
he was. I mean, he didn't have probably the fastest car, but he bided his time and he got to the top 5.
Put himself in a position to finish top 5. So no, I thought it was you know, I love that class. It's
something I saw in the PASS mod race that I never have seen at Beech Ridge in all the years that I've been going there, was when some of the sessions hit the tires on the front stretch. I had already made my way to the front stretch spot for the super late model race. When he hit the tires on the front stretch, there was water in the tires and it sprayed the first 2 rows of fans in the grandstands.
It's like going to the circus.
I found it funny to see that. I thought it was it probably wasn't funny to them.
Oh yeah. So no, we're gonna show you some highlights from you know, each class, and congratulations to the winners of Ryan Hammer and the Legends, Joey Pastori and the PASS Sportsman, and the PASS Modifieds winner Mark Lucas.
Here we go, we're underway. Outside the top 5.
moments, we'll have Mark down in victory have a chance to chat with She's in the modified 40-lap feature event here this afternoon.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, two of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Mainely Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
You know, once again, Greg, Tom Mayberry and his staff brought a boatload of cars, ended up sending on some home. And I know that's not their intent, but
Right.
you know what? I mean, if you're going home, you got to get up on your game, and that's good. That's good for short track racing.
Yeah.
When you got that much support, and I just think down the road that big race in July.
Would they have 32, I think, pre-registered
and
before
another five or six? So, great race. Once again, you had surprises, and you had guys needing provisionals or, to really come from the back, and eventual winner DJ Shaw started 19th, was in a Conci, so
Right.
that's some good racing. That is a talented field of racers.
One of the big topics to the whole weekend was the fact that the 15-second mark has been destroyed.
Destroyed, yeah.
It wasn't just knocked over by one or two. It was knocked over by probably a third of the field.
And the guy that they like to call the king,
he had to do it.
Oh yeah, but when I talked to him before the races, he likes to give Alicia a little pep talk,
Right.
And luckily for the guys in the Legend Tour, she don't listen to him because they'd be in for a world of hurt. It'd be a lot of torn up stuff. But anyway, he's just joking with her. He had one more in him. He wanted to he laid it down, and they shut him down. He says because he was getting after it. He thinks there was a little more in it because he just put his stickers on, and they're like, shut it down, shut it down. He says, I wanted to go one more. So, yeah, no, it was good. It was a great race. It had stuff going on all through it, and I thought it was really good. Your guy Corey Buba did a tremendous job.
And even in the middle part of the race, the late part of the race, they were still like a half a second faster than what they have been in the late part of those races usually.
Yeah.
I'm running the stopwatch, and I'm like.
And there was some movers. There was some guys coming from the back, and
Corey came from what, dead last basically.
Yeah.
Ended up finishing 10th.
Yeah, no,
I thought that was pretty good. For the misfortune that happened earlier in the day, and
Johnny Clark a little bit more back on his game, but talked to Johnny's dad there. When I say they ain't happy, it's not that they're mad. They want to run better.
Right.
They expect to run better, and they're getting there.
And showing some more improvement over how we ran at Oxford, I think, was Trevor Sanborn. Yeah. But still, I kind of expected more out of them right out of the box. But it's Trevor and Corey haven't really worked with the Dale Shaw car, and they're learning it.
And I was in a conversation with Dale and Trevor after the race, and we were talking about what they were going to do, and they're going to do some testing, and because obviously with DJ and Joey, their stuff's on. So
right.
We got some highlights from the race. We'll take a break. When we come back after that, you'll hear from the top three, and then we had a couple more comments about the race from Beech Ridge this past weekend, the Southern Maine Motors race.
Right.
Supporter of us, supporter of Beech Ridge, supporter of PASS, and supporter of Malkern Racing. So and BT3. So big supporters of motorsports. So enjoy the highlights from this weekend's PASS 150.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just made a special purchase of new travel trailers that normally sell from $25,000 to $32,000. Right now, you can buy these for only $19,999. You'll never see this price again. And with payments starting at $179 and no money down. We also have brand new 2013 campers, not pop-ups, starting at only $89.99. And all new fifth wheels on sale, with savings up to $20,000.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Mainely Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership, Route 1 Saco.
All right, we're here with our third place finisher today, and I know you wanted more than that. You got the chance to watch Joey and DJ battle for the win, but they probably weren't aware, or maybe they were, that you were racing the last 80 laps of that race without power steering.
Yeah, man, I like to have my power steering to race with them, but we just didn't have it, and we're just glad to finish third. The crew did a great job, and just one of those things, but we'll be back.
Oh, you were stout all day. All weekend with the car, back with the Fowler gang. Jamie Rulo come up to help out, and the talk after practice was the lap you ripped off when you put the stickers on. Mike Rowe's got it. You put Mike Rowe in a car, and you always get a chance for a win, right?
Well, we sure do hope so. Jamie, Mikey, the whole crew done an awesome job, and they gave me the car that I could have won with if we wouldn't have lost the power steering, but we want to get one for Jason Fowler, and we're going to get one for him.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. And it looked like early in the race you got to the front, and they were kind of holding you back because, when you're hard to hold back, you're like that thoroughbred. You want to go, and you could tell you had a good car. If you needed to be on the top or the bottom, wherever you needed to be, the car would be there.
Yeah, it was. It's such a shame. It was getting on entry. It was awesome. Like I say, we just lost the power steer, and I got a little loose off, and I didn't want to wreck DJ or Dorian, and I just backed off and settled for what we could get.
Yeah, so it's great. You got a lot of racing going on this year. You're going to be down here for the Saturday nights, running some pass stuff, but the 250. Looking ahead to the 250. What would it mean? You're the only guy that's got 3 that can go for that 4th, and you're going for it this year. What would it mean to grab that 4th the first time the Super Late models are back?
I tell you, it'd be awesome. They're building a brand new Stevie Levitt car, and I get to say that this Jeff Taylor distance racing car went awesome. So I told Dickie, I said, man, I just hope that Levitt car goes good, but if it doesn't, we're going to have to use it for an ornament because this baby was hot today.
Yeah, something tells me this car's not going to be too far away from that speedway come July, right?
You got that right.
All right, that's your third place finisher. Looking for a lot more, but I don't know if there's anybody out there that could have done what he did and driving without power steering, and that's Mike Rowe. Okay, here we are with 2013's Mr. Runner-Up, and I know you don't like that, but still, what a great way to start your season.
No doubt. Not only have we finished the first 2 races up here second, but we won down earlier this year in Florida. It's just been a phenomenal way to start the year off, and the only way we could have proved it was winning by the last 2 races, and we definitely had a car too. Just circumstances at the end of it is what it is.
It is what it is. Now, we've seen this before. I saw it in the go-kart ranks with the 2 of you guys, and rubbing and battling and, had a little words after, but it'll be all right. We know it will. Obviously, this is a bigger scale, but where do you think your car was hurting at the end? Obviously, he got to you, so he was able to make some contact.
He was definitely better at the end, but he wasn't going to get by me clean. He needed the restart, and he got by me the first time, and it was all fine and dandy, and we had that restart with, 20 to go, and I felt like, I'm right back in the catbird seat. I get the lead and just ride in the second groove, and we'll be good golden here because I knew he didn't have enough on the bottom to get by me, and we just, I guess he thought I was a little dirtier before on the first restart, and it is what it is. It's done, it's over with. It's a long year. if people are going to race like that, they're going to have issues with other people, and it's going to take care of itself.
Yeah, you're right. And but let's talk about your season. I mean, what a great start to 2013. You picked up the win in Florida. Up to Oxford. Great run. I mean, Cassius just had a better car today. Great run, finished second. And you got some new help this year. So on the car, new sponsorship. I mean, is that making the difference, or is it just you maturing, or everybody coming together?
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, myself as a driver, we've shown speed the last year and a half, and last year we were able to put together a couple decent runs and get some finishes we deserved, but it was just a lot of luck. I mean, we've had pretty terrible luck over the last couple of years, and it finally had a good running here, and it's just, if we can just keep building on momentum and head to Chaudière, where we finished third last year, just keep on hustling and get what we can get, and everything's going to take care of itself at the end of the year.
Yeah, you're right. And, you got some big races ahead. And, I mean, you've pretty much mastered this place. You've been in victory lane, and you've got a couple of runner-up finishes there the last few times. So, good luck the rest of the season. I'm sure it's not our last time talking here. And, keep the chin up, and nothing wrong with finishing second.
Oh, yeah, nothing wrong with silver at this time of the year.
All right, that's runner-up finisher here at the SouthernMaineMotors.com, PASS 150, and that's Joey Dwyron. All right, here we are with the winner. First big race you've ever won here, right, DJ?
Yeah, definitely the biggest one of my career here.
Yeah, and I think there's many more to come. You had a battle in the 300 a couple years ago. But let's talk about it. I mean, you had the best car at the end. We knew that. We were really having trouble getting around Joey, and then once you got around to him, you were able to clear him. You had a couple restarts, and but he was the first one at the window, and it wasn't to congratulate you after the win. And, I mean, that's happened with you two before. I remember it in the go-karts, but it's racing, when it's 20 to go. You got a good car, and you want to go, and especially before lap traffic becomes a play.
Yeah, I just had to do what I had to do. I feel like it was fair game after the restart before that when I was on his outside, and we might disagree on that, but I got the win, and I couldn't give it away with a car that good. I couldn't let my guys down like that. I had to seal the deal, and I brought it home for them.
Yeah, and you did, and really you got to be so pleased. 1-2 for Dale Shaw race cars. I mean, I think 2/3 of the way through the race, you had 3 in the top 5. So I mean, you guys you're really on your game right now, and you got to be pleased with that on the business side of things.
Yeah, really happy. To start the year. David Oliver's really happy with his car today, and it's the best run he's had in a PASS race in a while. And Joey won Auburndale, and I got the second at Hickory, and he's got 2 seconds, and we got the win here. So. It's just unbelievable start to the season, even with Jimmy Hebert picking up a win and Pembroke getting second last week in the ACT race. So, we've had cars up front every weekend. It's really, really been a turnaround year for us.
Another thing, it looks to me like the team is gelling. I mean, obviously your dad leads the troops, but you got some other vital people here that are really know their position, doing a good job, and, and it's really showing on the racetracks.
Yeah, we've got a good group of guys here. We've been together. This is our 3rd year now for most of them, and we're really coming around. We still only won a race with this car, so next thing on the list is to win with the other one, and hopefully we can do that at Chaudière in a couple weeks.
Well, I don't think this is the last win or the only win of this season, DJ, and congratulations to you, your sponsor, Julio, all the people behind the scenes that make this happen.
Thank you very much.
That's your winner right here from Beech Ridge, DJ Shaw.
Now, that was pretty exciting end of the race. I mean, coming down. And obviously, one of the things that I noticed, and I'm sure that you noticed it too, was how, the Shaw cars had 1-2 finish, obviously, but the parity in the end of the race of the different manufacturers.
They had that restart with 30 to go. You had Shaw cars.
Yeah.
You had a couple distance cars. Port City was represented.
Yep.
Hampke was represented, and then Race Basics was all represented in the top 7 in the field.
Right.
So, obviously the Shaw cars finished 1 and 2. The other guys aren't missing.
No.
And,
they're all right there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say they're all right there. We all know that the Shaw cars have been real fast the last year and a half or so. But no, maybe they're just starting to catch up.
Listen, I know DJ's sitting there staring at his first place trophy. But had it not been for power steering, I will go on record as saying the guy that I thought was washed up 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago, I thought Mike Rowe was washed up, would have slayed him. No doubt in my mind. So I'll end it at that. When we come back, I want to talk about what we got going on up at Wiscasset Raceway coming up in June. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
0% financing for the first time in history on select certified pre-owned vehicles at Southern Maine Motors. Southern Maine Motors is selling so many new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps that they are overloaded with great trade-ins. Now with live market vehicle pre-owned pricing gathered by electronically polling over 20,000 pre-owned car websites every hour, they will show you their competitors' closest vehicle and price. Proof that you are getting the fairest deal out there. Visit them on Route 1 in Saco or online at southernmainmotors.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, two of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by...
When you're in need of awards or personalized gifts, call Award Champs, where they'll help you reward your champion.
Gary Hotels, located in Brunswick, Freeport, Waterville, and Augusta, the official hotel of Mainly Motorsports.
Hey, I'm Kyle Busch, and when I'm in Maine, I watch Mainly Motorsports.
Now here's the downfall of you being welded to Beech Ridge. June 22nd, Wiscasset Speedway is calling it Mainly Motorsports Day. It's their first of 2 fan appreciation days, so they got a lot of neat things going on, and they've approached us about, becoming involved and want to do some special things with us. So we're going to be up there. We're going to present the trophies to all the classes, nice 3-place trophies for all classes, and really excited for what's going to take place up there. We're going to try to do a bunch of bike giveaways, going to just have fun. Richard and Vanessa have done a great job this past week.
Maybe you can get a Mainly Motorsports girl to go.
I'll have all kinds of Mainly Motorsports girls that night. I'll fill them up. I'll fill my trailer up. But it's going to be fun. I'm really excited. One of the concepts they're throwing around is putting me in a car. I don't know what they got for going on for.
I think these different tracks, and it's mostly the ones up north. Wiscasset, Unity, Spud, whatever, Bangor. They're all about putting Steve Perry in a car. I think that they're waiting to be the track where you jump out and wave to the crowd, and then they haul you off on a stretcher or something.
Yeah, they all want to be that first one.
They want to be the one to get you hurt.
Really excited, and anybody that's got any ideas, some things they'd like to see that night, we're still in the planning stages of what we're going to do with them.
Well, I'll be at Beech Ridge, obviously, but if the Jordans are watching, I have a great idea.
What?
To raise money for something.
What?
You. Dunk tank, baseballs, tennis balls, whatever.
I did that once before. A guy raised $100, the first one to put me in. So we're going to tape the show up there. It's just, I'm really excited, and looking to do some stuff with some other tracks this year. You're going to see more and more of us, or me, and might not like it, but I'm just telling you. I want to get more involved to try to work with the tracks and help promote their products. And, perfect example, we'll just say this quick. People went to the PASS race a couple weeks ago. It was at Oxford. Never been to Oxford in their life. You know why they went?
Because they saw it on Mainly Motorsports.
And they were from New Hampshire. Said, because somebody asked them. Jay Sloat says to them, saw their license plate. You get talking outside and practice day. Well, it was watching Mainly Motorsports. And the guy said this was the place to be that weekend. So there we go. But no, great time. Really excited. So June 22nd, mark your calendar.
What's funny is I was at a store the other day, and aren't you the guy from Mainly Motorsports? Yeah.
Did you get your lunch bought?
No, I mean, I had already paid for my breakfast, but.
All right, we come back, talk about a couple other things that'll be going on over the next month, and then we'll wrap the show up with results. We'll take a break, be right back.
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley's Saloon, owned by legendary super-modified driver Bentley Warren. Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone. Staying in the area, Bentley's has their own full-service campground right on site. Tuesdays, Bentley's Cruise Night attracts car enthusiasts from all over New England. Located on Route 1 in Arundel, Bentley's Saloon guarantees a great time. Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com and see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
Mainely Motorsports TV, brought to you by
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham. Clark's Car Crushing, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid.
Welcome to Mainely Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainely Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Well, I mean, I know food has a lot to do with everything we do. So down to Bentley's this past Sunday for a buffet breakfast.
Yeah, we went down and
got talking to Bruce. And you know, he reminded us of the NHRA show that's coming up June 19th. Where
at New England Dragway, right?
Well, yeah. New England Dragway is the weekend, but the 19th over at Bentley's, Wednesday night, they're going to have some NHRA dragsters and stuff on display. And you want to see some cool rigs. I mean, a lot of us people, you know, we do a little bit with the drag racing.
Yeah.
It's not as, it's getting bigger up here, but.
It'll definitely be cool. And you know what? One of my favorite parts of the whole thing. Wednesday night at Bentley's is wing night.
Oh, yeah.
49-cent wings.
And they're working on some of the top personalities in NHRA to having them there.
Yeah, and if anybody can do that, pull that off, it's Bentley.
Oh, it's Bentley.
You know,
so, you know, June 19th, mark your calendars. And, you know, another thing I want to throw a shout out to is, you know, a guy we met back in January over at the Northeast Motorsports Expo, and that's Sean Waddell of Waddell Communications. You know, anybody that has any radio stuff or needs anything for radio needs, scanners. Yeah. I mean, my uncle just bought a whole setup, and you couldn't believe, you know, how reasonable Sean was for price-wise. And
yeah, it's he's the racing electronics dealer in this area. Basically.
Yeah, he's from Connecticut, so you got to contact him, whether it's through Facebook or email or you know, he doesn't text.
There's a website.
Yeah, so but no, he can get you everything you need, and there's people coming and going. He'll ship it, and you know, so you know, send your radio down. And I know, you know, just up here, you know, in the last couple months, you know, Joey Dwyer and Jason Thompson, yourself, me, you know, people, you know, Steve Purse, spotters, racers, teams have started dealing with Sean, and you know, and had real good success. I took a pile of stuff when I went to Waterford for people, and he had it all done, you know, putting helmet kits in. So, you know,
I talk to him every week just about. So.
Yeah, so it's really good. So, you know, in racing electronics with Kevin Hughes, who's a Maine native, you know, right from Scarborough, raced around Beech Ridge. So, you know, really good. So if you're looking for that stuff, and he'll be at, I believe he's going to be at the 250, and maybe try to make a couple other races up here in Maine.
He's got a schedule on his website, I think. So.
Yeah. And we forgot to mention last week where we were going for our Thursday night rendezvous, get together, talk racing, and you know, but what a great time we had over at the hometown buffet at the main mall. You know, I mean, great food, plenty to eat, and you know, not everybody that travels in our crowd is the size of us, but there's some beef eaters.
And one of the things that we need to point out, so maybe some of these people that watch the show will realize, is we mentioned this on the show because we want some of the fans to come out and hang out
with
meet
us,
and see that we are just as crazy in real life as we are
you know,
on TV.
and we had some new people that, you know, we got some, you know, Wrecker Boy and Dave Turner, they're big supporters. They just want to know wherever we go every week. You know, I don't know if they just want to hang out with us or they just want a meal. But we try to support some people, and you know, Chris Howland, who's the manager over there, you know, was taking care of us in the past, and you know, so we have a good time. And you know, we talk racing and some of the things coming up and ideas for the show. But this week we didn't talk much of that. It was, I mean, it was like a roast. I mean, they hammered me.
You know what I loved about it is that I give you crap about your appearance before you go on the show sometimes, and you're like, then they lit you up.
3 women, Doozy, Carrie Thibodeau, and Angel Forrest lit me up. about my appearance. I mean, your hair's a mess sometimes. You look like you just get out of bed. Well, sometimes I might have just got out of bed. And, you know, I mean, just be fortunate that you never see a wardrobe malfunction. I mean, it was bad. So maybe we got to look for a cosmetology school or somebody that wants to come in when we know we're going to tape the show and, you know, make sure I, you know, cleaned up. I mean, we're not these big news channels where they have makeup artists and you go through the production, but hey,
we walk in and sit in the chair.
Yeah, but it was fun. So this week we're going to be at Rock and Roll Diner out on Route 1 in Scarborough, right at Dunstan Corner, Thursday night, 6:30. So, you know, not a lot of chances, and we'll post it on Facebook, and we have a ball. It's, you know, it's...
Who chose the Rock and Roll Diner?
The president of the Alicia Perry fan club, Carrie Thibodeau, a.k.a. SS. So you got to come to find out why they call her SS. Colette calls her SS. So
now, is she the president of the Alicia Perry fan club? Because Alicia, everything to do with Alicia's pink, and half the time we talk to Carrie, her cheeks are pink for some reason.
I don't know why she is. We just give her a title. You know?
Yeah,
people like titles. So we're going to take a break. We come back. I want to hear from a young man that had what I call a pretty productive day at Beech Ridge. I know it didn't end up as he, you know, ended up in the backstretch wall, but after going to Oxford and not even qualifying, and, you know, his first pass start, he goes to Beech Ridge, wins his heat, holds off the two rows, Mike and Ben, and then leads 30-plus laps at the beginning of the feature.
Right.
And, you know, right rear flat was kind of the beginning of his demise, put him at the back, and that's Reid Lanpher. And then after Reid...
and he did a really good job adapting to the track.
Yeah, he did a really good job. And then after Reid, we'll show you some results and photos from this past weekend throughout Maine and New Hampshire. And that'll end this week. So,
then we're out.
Yeah. So we'll take a break. Be right back with Reid Lanpher and the results.
Mainely Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Award Champs LLC is Southern Maine's premier award supplier and official award supplier for many of the area's top organizations and events. If you're in need of an award for a sponsor, employee recognition, fundraising event, or an entire sports organization, call Todd Mead at Award Champ. They provide the best for less with competitive pricing like the big online firms, but give you the personalized service you can only get from a local supplier. When you're in need of awards or personalized gifts, call Award Champs, where they'll help you reward your champion.
Looking for something different and exciting to do on Friday night? How about real NASCAR racing at Lee USA Speedway, featuring the ground-pounding super-fast, super-modifieds, the fender-rubbing late model sportsman, unpredictable hobby stocks, and more. It's great family fun and excitement. Kids under 12 get in free, and there's acres of free and easy parking. Friday nights at Lee USA Speedway, located right on Route 125 in Lee, New Hampshire. Check LeeUSASpeedway.com for more information.
All right, we're here with 14-year-old, and I call him a sensation. And I know I'm not supposed to, but, you know, I mean, what a pick-me-up after Oxford a couple weeks ago. I mean, you left, you didn't even qualify, but there's not a shame of not qualifying this group. Today, you not only qualified, you hold off one of the best in Ben Rowe in your heat, and then you go out and lead laps. I mean, how amazing of a day is that?
Yeah, I mean, it was going so good. I mean, we were rocket ship right from that second practice on, and we just kept getting better. And the heat, we were awesome. I went third first. And the feature, we started off, we were awesome. We went from third. We worked our way up, probably like 10-car lead, and just settled down and started saving our stuff. It wasn't even, I mean, the car was hooked right up. We weren't pressing the shoe at all up there. And then I think when we were scrubbing our tires before the restart there, we must have got into something, and the right rear got cut down there, and had to come in pit, and that was just the beginning of the end.
Yeah, you know, and it's tough. You made some headway, but it's like anything. It's easy to pass the first 10 cars when you come from the back, but it's really hard. They start getting tougher, but you had to gain a tremendous amount of respect from these guys because it was really your first race in racing with them. 100 and so laps, and but to win that heat, I mean, that's huge. To start up front, driver introduction, hear the names Rowe and Clark and Benjamin and Sambo and those guys, and then to hear your name mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an honor to run with those guys. I mean, just to be out there. I mean, just for Andy to let me even run this weekend. I mean, it was all. Wish I could have proved myself a little bit better there in the finish. But we'll look forward to hopefully financially being able to get this thing back together and out on the track.
But no, what a great day for you and your whole team. Led laps, your first start in a pass race. I mean, it don't get no bigger than that. The only thing that's bigger is a win, and that'll come.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more positives than the big old negative here. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a confidence booster after Oxford. So, I mean, we can take the positives and make something out of the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. That's young sensation, 14-year-old Reid Lanpher, and great job today.
Thank you very much, Steve.